Hi friends, Chandrasekhar here, and in our series of lectures on the Varga charts, which I never forget to tell that I use most of them rarely except the D9, sometimes D60 also. Hmm. And yeah, sometimes when something is missing or I think there is something which I am missing while analyzing a chart, then I use the D charts. So let me be very clear. The idea is very clear. You now know how I look at it. I look at the aspects as Rashi Drushtis, Rashi aspects in the D charts for the simple reason that they are in degrees, they might be very much apart. But in the D charts, they can occupy, they can be together, they can be with 6 8 to each other in X Bhava, Y Bhava, etc. And that's why personally I feel since Parashara has already given the strength of the aspects in number of degrees, distance between planets or planet and a bhava, I prefer Rashi Drishti. So, and then what we do, we usually look at the the bhava itself, its lord if possible, and the karaka for that bhava in the D chart. In similar bhavas there. This is one thing. Uh, I will again reiterate at the cost of repetition that even a D chart cannot overrule the natal chart. The natal chart is the whole. D chart is a part of it, but it can indicate some flavors. Now, having said that, I shall try to uh, share the screen where we are looking at D chart. The person whose chart we are interpreting remains the same, Warren Buffett. On the left side, as you look at the screen, you will see his Rashi chart, the natal chart, and on the right side, the D30 chart. We are looking at the TriMshāMsha, as they call it. TriMshā means 30. So, D30 chart, the rules are a bit different. 5 degrees for X planet, Y planet. Only 5 planets are considered here. Being connected, I mean, every TriMshāMsha has one lord and only the 5 physical planets. I mean, rather, what can I say? Not physical planets, the planets as such. Actually, sun and moon are called as stars. And you know the Pancha Mahabhutas, etc. And this relates to health or even sometimes death of the Jataka because Parashar talks about the Arishta. Arishta can mean, either death or any harm. So this is the indication. There can be different type of Arishta, but generally you must have heard names like Bala Arishta, hmm, death when one is a child, rather child death as we can call it, and so on. So having explained that, I'll try to share the screen here with the chart, and here it is. As you can see, as I see the screen on my left is the natal chart of Mr. Warren Buffett. Here, D30 gets more marks in the Sapta Varga, the 7 Varga strength. So I have taken the Sapta Varga for the planetary strength in the D chart, D30 chart. And as you know, 0 to 5 points of strength means almost no effect. 5 to 10 generally the negative effects. 10 to 15 much better. And 15 onwards, very good. That is the scale given by the Parashar, the great Parashar, in his magnum opus, Brihat Parashar Bhuga Shastra. This is also repeated by other greats. Some use only 13 of the Vargas, like the great Mantreshwara, some use the 10 Vargas. But this is it. And I generally tend to follow Parashar because he has explained this in a bit more length, though nothing has been explained about how to do that. But I have always thought that when they say strength of the planet is to be seen from Uchchadi, I mean exaltation, etc., or their placement, I use the same parameter. And aspects I look at as the influences on those planets and the Bhavas. So what we look at here is Saturn aspects Jupiter. We are talking about the natal chart of Mr. Warren Buffett. Jupiter is there. Jupiter is Lord of the Lagna for the natal chart. So there has to be some harm to the body of the Jataka. Should be not very difficult to understand. Now, the we also see that Mars is conjunct Jupiter and aspects the Lagna. So some health problems are likely. They could have to do with something to do with Saturn is dirt and pain and see long time problems, etc. Jupiter represents Gulma, the uh, glands, whatever those sort of things. And so there can be something there, more especially because a lot of the events, which is the Ayush Star, the house of life, is going to the 12th house in Mr. Warren Buffett's chart and is in debility there. His being in debility there gives it a specific type of a Viparit Raja, which is a different thing. But what about his life as such? So, what I would think is now going ahead, what we are looking at is some health issues is possible. Could be in area of, the anal area, the eighth house, or even in the intestinal area. Gland might be involved, but which gland, where, etc., we are not aware of. Just looking at the natal chart. Now, as we come to the D30 chart, what happens? We know that always remember Mercury indicates three doshas, as they call it. They are called doshas, the humors. And when a planet, the only planet is Mercury, then which rules over all the three humors. Every other planet has one humor each and one speciality each. So whenever Mercury is involved in some disease sort of thing, so there can be chronic disease. Here we see Lord of the Earth, because this is to do with the diseases which one has, the constitutional problems that one has is to be seen from the Earth house. Those which can be controlled or because of our own habits, or some contribution of the Jataka's own part, would be seen by the sixth house. So in the eighth house, we are looking at the eighth house, eighth lord, etc. What is happening? What we see is Mercury, one who has a habit of giving something which is chronic, is sitting in the eighth house. So maybe in anal area there could be something. What could it be? Look at the Rashi aspects. The Karaka for eighth house, Saturn, is also, of course, Karaka for the 12th house, because here we are looking at the, you are aware, we are looking at the Rashi Dukti. So the eighth lord of the natal chart, moon aspects this Mercury in the sixth house. Moon is 10.85. Mercury himself has strength, and I think I have perhaps not written it here, but his strength is 14.7. So excuse me, the chart that I prepared for presentation, I forgot to. No, perhaps that part is somehow or missing because M is visible here downside. So Mercury is 14.7. Now, it is also aspected, but not only Saturn, it is also aspected by Sun. Sun has 16.15 out of 20 marks, so pretty powerful to give something. Mostly something good, obviously, because he is more than, even Mercury has something good, though he can indicate the problems there. Then Jupiter with 11.38 in the scale of 20 out of how many points? Also aspects this Mercury. Jupiter, as you know, indicates Gulma, as we call it, the glands. And what happened? Saturn also gives the negative thing. Saturn has less marks, so he can cause some problems. He is also connected with things which are not exactly clean, etc., or arthritis, of course. So what happened with Mr. Warren Buffett was he got cancer of the prostate. Prostate gland is located in anal area. You are aware of it. Fortunately, with Moon having more than 10 points, Sun himself having more than 10 points, actually more than 15 points, and then Jupiter also 11 points. Though he was operated upon, he recovered very fast. I think within 5 months, he was out of the problem and started, doing all his things regularly. As you know, he is still alive at a 90 plus and still active. So this is something we can try to analyze from the D30 chart. Is there anything else? We see that there are, Venus is in the fixed Rashi. He aspects the Ketu and Rahu in the third house of the D chart. Now Rahu and Ketu again have, Rahu has 10.4 points out of 20 and Ketu uh, has about 13.9. So it's some minus and some plus sort of thing on Venus. But Venus has more to do with the 10th house application, and which would be somewhere like in the area of knees. Fortunately, Mars also aspects this the third house. Although third house is also Earth from Earth and can indicate something to do with the body. But as you can see, no connection of the natal Earth Lord with the actually sorry the third house. Only Venus and Mars are aspecting it. And then 1 plus 1 minus. Actually, both are plus, so not very bad results. We can say it's not very bad result. Yeah, they also aspect the seventh house. So if we want to go like that, there could be problems with the spouse or her health, but we should not look at it like this. I would prefer to go for her chart, which unfortunately is not available to analyze. We should concentrate only on the Earth Lord, the Earth Karaka in the natal chart, see where he is placed in the D chart and the concerned bhava, and then go on from here. We can see that Sun and Saturn also aspect Mars or Moon, the Lord of the Earth in the natal chart. So all that is going on the 8th house, but because ultimately planets like Sun, who is anyway 9th Lord for Mr. Prophet, that is a different issue, and Jupiter also aspecting the 8th house, he did have, even Moon has more than 10 points. He did have the prostate gland enlargement and cancer of prostate gland. That is due to Moon in Navamsha being with Ketu. Generally, Moon with Ketu or Ketu in Cancer can sometimes give, possibility of the cancer being there, one of the diseases. However, always remember, if the Lagna itself in the natal chart is strong, it doesn't go to the terminal stage. Here we can see in the natal chart, Jupiter is aspecting own house. So though Mars also aspects, though there was bodily problem, overall his life is protected. So never underestimate the strength of a Lagna Lord itself. And so there you have it. I hope I have been able to explain this properly. And if you like it, let me know. If you don't like it, let me know. There was a bit of disturbance while I was recording this, and so I will have to split and connect it. If there is some slight hitch, do pardon me. And my friends, so I take your leave and have a good night.